So last night, the Golden State Warriors beat the Houston Rockets without Steph Curry and without Draymond Green, and Jonathan Kuminga had a career-high 33 points. It was also the first time this year Kuminga played 30 minutes, which is a little bit alarming. And if you guys remember, last year Kuminga really started going off when Draymond Green got suspended. At the end of January going into February, he had a stretch where he scored over 20 in 8 games in a row and over 15 in 12 games in a row. Then Draymond comes back, Wiggins gets hurt, so he's still able to play around 30 minutes a night. And when Kuminga plays 30 minutes a night in his career, he averages 20 points per game. And that is only 35 times. He's only played over 30 minutes 35 times. He puts up 20 points per game, 5 boards, 2 assists, shooting 55% from the field, shooting 43% from 3, and shooting 73% from the line. Again, 35 games, not the biggest sample size, but when you actually let Kuminga run, he usually produces. So what we've seen the last 2 games is not the biggest surprise, but what we've also seen is Kuminga more than ever being a ball handler. And that brings up the Draymond Green conundrum. And you have Steve Kerr and Draymond Green pretty much saying it through the media, like they keep talking about how Draymond keeps saying, I don't want to play the 5. Draymond saying, I think Kuminga can be a 3. I really think he can be a 3. Steve Kerr saying, nah, he's a 4. He's a 4. So that whole dynamic is weird because in reality, their best lineup is Draymond at the 5, Kuminga at the 4, Wiggins at the 2. You would assume that's the best lineup. Maybe Pods, maybe Buddy Hield, maybe GP2. I don't know who the 2 would be in this equation, but you would think that would be their best lineup, but they can't go to it because Draymond can't sustain at the 5. But I think regardless of what position Draymond is playing at, if their plan is to keep Kuminga, then Draymond has to get out the way. And I don't mean you got to trade Draymond or anything like that. I'm saying Draymond, you can't be such a big part of this offense if you want Kuminga to take that step. And I just don't think Draymond's ego will ever allow him to take that step back. You know why I think that? Because think about the other 2 real shot creators this team has had in the last 10 years. Who are those guys? It is Kevin Durant and it's Jordan Poole. Do you think it is a coincidence they had problems with Draymond Green? I'm not saying that's the full scope of what happened, but it's part of it, I truly believe, is because those guys look at Draymond and say, yeah, we know what you do, we know all that, but right now, I don't need you to get me the ball. I can go get a bucket. I don't need you to stand here at the top of the key, wait 10 seconds for Steph, and then decide what you're gonna, no, just give me the ball. I'm Kevin Durant. I'm Jordan Poole. I'm one of the most crafty finishers, one of the best handles in the NBA. Give me the ball. But Draymond wants to have ownership of the offense, and rightfully so. Him and Steph Curry is one of the greatest duos of all time. So I'm not saying he's wrong in that, but I do think that limits the growth of players, that limits the creativity of your offense. I also think that's one of the reasons we see the Warriors, even historically, like even 73-9 Warriors, we'll see them just completely turn off for a second where they can't score at all. Probably because the ball is in the hands of a guy that can't score. And I'm not trying to take shots at Draymond. I understand how great he is. And Steph Curry is not absolved of this either. And I think Steve Kerr really, as much as I have problems with Steve Kerr, he really shoulders a lot of the blame for this particular thing because Steph Curry and Draymond Green want to play the way they want to play. And that's fine. It's obviously worked out for them. But that's not how everybody plays, and that's probably not how they should be playing at this point in their careers. They shouldn't be just getting players that give them the ball and get out the way or always wait for Steph Curry to come off a screen. Obviously, that's a great thing to do, but sometimes those guys just gotta go. And when there's no Draymond Green at the top of the key waiting for the offense, it lets someone like Kuminga just get the ball and go. It lets Wiggins not think about, oh, all right, I gotta get it back to Draymond, then he's gonna get it to Steph. Or no, I gotta get it to Draymond, then I gotta go screen for someone who's gonna go screen for Steph, and then maybe I'll get the ball back, but I probably won't. It'll be a Steph Curry contested 30-footer, even after we just ran all this offense to get the shot we could have got at the beginning of the shot clock. Trust me, I understand why the offense works. We've also seen it, like even prime Warriors, I just said that earlier, but even prime Warriors where that offense doesn't work a lot of times. You just hope he makes enough threes and the Warriors play good enough defense to where those, dry spells don't come up to bite them in the end. But I bring all this up because it seems like the Warriors front office or ownership really believes Kuminga can be this star level player on offense. Yet Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, and Draymond, the leaders of the team, really don't do much at all to put him in that position. They put him in position to run and dunk, to hit corner threes. But as far as the creativity, as far as getting his own, what the Warriors actually need, they don't put him in position to succeed in that at all. And I'm sorry, I know the offense, I know how it's worked, but Kuminga getting the ball and his first thought immediately being, where's Draymond? Does that not sound backwards? Kuminga's first thought should be go. And also last night, without Steph Curry, without Draymond Green, you know what happened? The Warriors did not turn the ball over, only 11 turnovers, because everyone's not, first of all, it's really those two guys that turn it over, but a lot of the other turnovers are indecisive ones of people trying to figure out what Steph Curry's doing off the ball. Do I wait for him? Do I go? And then by the time they go, they're all out of rhythm. They don't see the extra defender because they've been focused on Steph Curry the whole possession. I understand it, but we're at the point where I believe the negatives are now outweighing the positives of this Warriors offense. And if they're really expecting some development from Kuminga as the player they want him to be, or the player we all know they need for him to be, more of a shot creator, how are they going to do that with Draymond holding the ball at the top of the key? They really want Pods to get into his mid-range game. How are they going to do that when Draymond's holding the ball at the top of the key? And I'm not saying you got to get rid of Draymond, but he has to take a step back, realistically. Whoever they're going to go get. And you can tell they really don't want to change it all. And to me, it's really Draymond focused by the guys they tried to get. Larry Marketing doesn't need the ball. He's just going to shoot and play off ball. Maybe he'll get a couple post-ups. But really, Draymond, you can still handle the ball all you want if we go get Larry Marketing. Paul George, we know Paul George is content at this point in his career to just be floating off the ball. Yes, he can create, but Paul George is just floating out there. So yeah, we'll do that. We know you're not going to challenge Draymond for the ball, but someone like Brandon Ingram, who I think is the type of player the Warriors actually really need, someone that can actually create, someone that can get Steph open looks. The Warriors probably don't, well, let's say, there might be other reasons, right? The defensive side, Brandon Ingram is not a good defender. He's spacey on defense. We get that, but you can't get perfect players, and that's the thing with the Warriors. They want everybody to fit this perfect system around Steph Curry and Draymond. It's not 2016 anymore. But the Warriors, the smartest organization, the basketball purists, they turn up their nose at someone like a Brandon Ingram or DeMar DeRozan because those guys don't fit the system. You know who else didn't fit the system? Jordan Poole. He didn't fit the system. And you know what? You don't win that championship without Jordan Poole because he was the only other guy on the team that can get in the paint and create something for someone else, including Steph Curry. The Warriors don't currently have that. And they might have it in Kuminga, they might have it in Pods, but the only way they're gonna find out is if Draymond Green takes a step back from controlling the offense. And this is something I said before they even won the championship. And in that championship run, we've seen moments where they did have to throttle back Draymond Green, including game 1 at Memphis, where Draymond Green gets ejected in that game. And you know what happens? Jordan Poole is the best player on the court because he's able to have the ball. He scores 31 points. I believe he had 8 assists or 7 boards, something like that. So we'll see what happens. Again, I don't want to come off like I'm anti-Draymond, one of the greatest defenders of all time, but it is what it is. Like, I think everybody watching the team can see it. They can see how much more freely guys play when he's not out there standing at the top of the key. Are they going to continue giving Kuminga consistent minutes? Because even if you want to trade him, you should probably let him showcase what he can do on the court, like we just seen. We'll see what happens. They play Minnesota tonight. I believe Draymond's going to be back. Steph Curry is going to be back. What do they do? What's the starting lineup? Is Kuminga going to start? Probably not. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and please subscribe on the road to 6K. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I'm out. Peace.